Hey everyone, welcome back to Unstuck with Bijoyeti. Today's episode is extra special because we are talking about something that I think so many of us struggle with: how to build a successful career without losing yourself in your relationship. And to make this conversation even more exciting, I have a very special guest with me, my partner in life and business, Abhishek. We built a business together, navigated challenges, and learned how to grow both as a couple and as individuals. Hi, and welcome to the podcast. Let's jump straight into the first question of ours. Let's start from the beginning, with a little backstory of how did we meet and what was your first impression of us and my first impression of us. Maybe like that.
Okay, I'm gonna make it simple. So the first time we met was through work. As far as I remember, I we got connected through Instagram.
Yeah,
Yeah,
back in the
due
days.
to so back in the days, I used to be this freelance graphic designer, and I think you were
You were
doing
pretty
the same
amazing in
sort of
it.
thing.
Yeah.
I think you were like doing the same sort of thing, as in like you had your own digital marketing company,
Yeah,
right?
we just started. And then,
So that is how we got connected. I wanted some work. You are searching for someone who can work for you and help you out with things, projects. And that is how we met.
I mean, the pretty amazing thing is that we wanted to collaborate and ended up collaborating for life.
Yeah, we can say that.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, like, did you think that time that we will end up working together like the way that we do now?
I don't think so. Like back then, who would have thought, like we would come this far,
Yeah.
and even the progress bar of this whole, uh, how do I say, like this whole relationship would go up, you know, so quickly.
Yeah, that is true. But yeah, we did take our time with our work, relationship, everything. And
We did.
like a jigsaw puzzle, it all got fit. Don't you think
Yes,
that?
yes, definitely.
But what do you think were our early struggles of managing the work and relationship together, if you might say?
I think initially we were struggling with time, to
Mm-hmm.
be very honest, when it comes to work and relationship, because uh, when we got officially
Yeah,
with this relationship, when things official, we both were doing two different things.
right.
You were managing your own company and all. I was like doing a job and working for a different company. And then we also met few times.
Hmm.
Out we went outside, met, and we used to talk every now and then.
Right.
I think the only thing to manage was time, but then I don't think we had to. Actually, no, I don't think we had to manage anything. Like it just fell into place
It just fell
somehow.
into place. Yeah.
Things exactly.
But I also think that respecting our work styles, you were super methodical with everything, like fixing time up for everything, and I was more.
I still am.
I am still very impromptu with things, very spontaneous, and like planning things up and saying you that we need to do things now, and we are doing things now, and you're like, no, we need to sit, plan, go by a method. And I think that both of our working styles came together and it kind of balanced up.
I feel both works in different ways.
Yeah,
For me, it's more like, you should sit and plan about something before you execute. And it can be anything.
Mm,
It can be me waking up in the morning, going to the gym, or me just working on a project for a
right.
long-term project.
And for me, it was quite the opposite. I am still, I'm like that, I need to do things. Okay, I came up with a plan and I'll just do it right now. It was very spontaneous. Everything is spontaneous. Okay, so coming to our next question, what's the biggest myth about working with your partner that we want to debunk today? Because nowadays we see that many couples are working together, but at the same time, we also see that um, couples not getting along together at the same time. And they think that, okay, being with a couple and working together are very bad ideas because love might be coming in between. So, what do you think? Like, it's the biggest myth right now that we want to debunk today.
Eh, So I think the biggest myth is people believing in being in two different relationships. One with a person, with a human, and the other with the work. I
That's
feel
interesting way to look
we
at it.
shouldn't consider as we shouldn't consider it as a relationship, you know. It's more of a partnership we should believe in. So once you start believing in partnership, both things can collaborate and can work 100% any day.
Absolutely, I think so too. And I think I have learned this from you that more than being in a relationship with a person, it's the partnership that we have to believe in. And I'm really
Absolutely.
blessed about that I learned that from you. I did not know that part of the world. Um, how do you think that we have divided the responsibilities while at work and also while at our relationship, and also managed to, keep both the things very separate and together, like parallel at the same time?
I think for me, it was more like, sitting with you and just setting up things, discussing things. The only thing that can solve any kind of problem in this world is communication.
Yeah,
We did that, and
we
we
did
did
that.
that pretty well.
We did
We
that.
sat down, we
Right.
discussed about work, we sat down, we discussed about our relationship and everything. We have set our own roles
Yeah.
within this relationship and outside this relationship as well. So I feel that part is sorted, right?
Right.
So communication is the key here.
Absolutely. And for me, it was like, I mean, we both have always enjoyed playing with Legos. And I think we're building something with you, like building a relationship and building a business with you. It was more like, playing with that Lego set. We both have uh, the picture in mind, what we want to look at the end of the Lego set. And we were just building it up brick by brick. And sometimes the tiny little pieces get lost. We figure it out. We go well with the conflict, that we do the conflict management thing pretty well, and we bring the pieces together and fix it again and go, like, move on with that. I think that was how we played
Or
it.
or there's one more way of doing things. So for example, you start building
Mm-hmm.
a Lego house.
Right.
And in the process of building that, you might lose or, lose a few pieces of it.
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
will that stop you from building the structure? No,
No.
absolutely not. You just have to rethink and reshape it. That's all.
Right. Right. Classic
Because
Lego.
if you waste too much time in searching for those pieces, you might lost. count on time, and
Yeah, that is very true.
that affects everything,
I think that
right?
is very true because as you always say that time is money, and I have also started believing in that. So I think that is pretty true.
Absolutely.
Okay, so moving on to our next question, which I think is pretty interesting, that did you ever feel like that um the business talk dominated the relationship, or did love overpower, like the relationship talks overpowered the business part in some way? Did that ever
I
happen?
think no. I think both play their roles side by side. Yeah, and I'm not trying to be, someone who would try to balance things and all. It just happened.
Right.
I'm not trying to force it because the when the business dominates the relationship, it does sometimes.
Yeah.
But I feel it's not nothing bad, right?
Right.
It should do it because when we come under pressure, we start collaborating. We start cooperating together, right?
Right. Right.
Coordinating. We go through problems. We try to sort it out. No, this is not working. So maybe
Right.
that, and we start asking each other for suggestions, and that's how things work.
And I think being in the relationship helps us do that more in some way.
Exactly. So it's a vice versa things. You see,
Right.
there shouldn't be any difference at all. Both complement each other.
Right.
That is how things work.
Right. And it just helped us that, we can communicate every time. We can communicate with our boyfriend or husbands just more than what we can communicate with a co-founder, maybe.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So, in
That is
that
very
way,
true.
this has blessed us in some way.
I feel if you are in a business partnership with someone, might be a friend, might be an acquaintance, might
Hmm.
be someone you just barely know, just got to know that person invested in your company, became a partner.
Right.
But then there will always be that communication gap, you know. You might always feel that a bit of uncomfortable, you know, that uncomfortable feeling always remains, even if it's just a bit.
For me, I think like 100 times before even making a phone call, I was that person. Being with you just made it so easy for me that we already have that transparency. And I think there were some instances that happened that we were going through some problem, and you were at work, and I think there was something going on in my mind. You came back, you saw my face, and you just immediately understood that there's something that is going on, and vice versa, like something that is going on your end. I just understood that we need to sit and talk about it and fix it right now.
I mean, I'm not a mind reader, right? So that means anyone can do it. When I look at you, I would just know if you're going through something.
Right.
That just comes from inbuilt consciousness.
I think that is the
If I'm
biggest
conscious enough
boon.
about the things around me, people around me, I would know what is going on.
Right. I think that is the biggest boon of being in a relationship and working at the same time with your partner. So that comes as a add-on. Um, okay. So I would want to go on and say that, what is one work-related disagreement that we had, and how did we manage to, resolve that? Do you remember any work-related disagreement that we had? And I have something in mind,
Let me
which is
think.
very
Let me
funny.
think. I don't remember because, as far as I know, we have been solving a lot of things together, sitting together and discussing.
Right.
I don't know if there was any disagreement, but Okay, if you remember, you mention it, and then I'm gonna talk about it.
So I'll just mention two things. Not very serious problem that we had, because I think that we both have our own paths in the relationship and in work as well. And we don't try to overshadow each other or step into each other's foot. We do that. So those serious disagreements can be kept out of the way. The one very funny disagreement that we tend to have throughout, you prefer Photoshop and I prefer Canva.
Okay, it came to that. Right. Yeah, I
I
can I can still uh, you know do a debate on that any day, and you would still lose.
I have always happily
It's
lost
it's
that
it has to be
debate.
Photoshop over Canva any day. You
I
know.
know it is Photoshop over Canva any day, but at the same time, I prefer Canva in a way that, it's easy, it's very fast, and I keep on telling you that. And the moment you step on Canva and start doing something, you'll find out one feature of Canva which is not available every time. I don't know how
No,
you come up with that.
no, no. Let me tell. So whenever I get on Canva, so if you have if you have to make some quick changes on your design and all, Canva can be the best thing available
Right,
at this moment. But when you work on complicated designs where you need to use a couple of tools and plugins and stuff, and like a person like me who has been into this designing sector for a very long time
right,
and using Photoshop, I get easily frustrated getting into Canva and not being able to do the things I usually do on Photoshop,
right,
right? So I prefer doing things manually. For example, if I feel like creating a design with, for example, double exposure,
right.
that is not possible on Canva,
I mean, even the
right?
background remove thing.
But yeah, one good thing about Canva is people who are very new, they do not have to, go through that long learning process
Right,
of designing and stuff. Everything is available there. All the templates are available there. You just have to select the template and just put in your text, images, and inputs, and the
right.
design is ready. Very quick. But still,
Coming.
Photoshop wins.
Okay, so you did not find any disagreements in your head. That's a very good thing. Yay. Okay. So this question came to my mind while watching, all the typical Bollywood movies. And I
Okay.
know that uh a lot of the people from the younger generation might want to ask this question, because they have always grown up watching those movies, and they might have this question in mind that, did we ever feel like any one of us is growing faster than the other? And like, how do we handle that dynamic?
Hmm. Interesting question. I never thought about it though.
I know, being like you, being the person you are, you will never think about this question, but yeah.
Yeah, because I feel growing comes, with experiences. I mean, uh, by the time we met,
Mm-hmm.
we had our own set of experiences in life. And that
Right.
is where you can measure the bar, who has grown further or not, you know. But once we start being in a relationship together, working together, cooperating,
Mm-hmm.
the growth has to be like parallel. We grow together. It should never feel like who is growing more than the other person, right?
I think if we take both of our wins as each other's wins, that is amazing. because I always make like I always believe that whenever you are closing in a client or doing something, I feel that it's my personal win. And you have always cheered me up the most when I'm going for a meeting alone or I'm doing something alone. And I think the loudest cheer was from you. So I never felt that, um, I remember that one uh, video from Cars where that red car is cheering from the background. So I think we have both been the biggest cheerleaders in each other's life, even in your gaming. And I remember during lockdown when I was doing my recitation videos and all, you would be the first one to like that, comment on that, or something like that. I can still find a copy of my first book in your bag. I'm sure of that. So,
Yeah, it's still in my bag. I take
and
it everywhere with me.
I have understood zero things of gaming and technical things, and I have still started watching games with you. So I think that we both take our each other's win very personally. So we never felt that,
Yeah.
this person might be a bit better than one another and all
With with you, I feel there is no room for arrogance, jealousy, anger, anything with you when
that.
it comes
Right,
to your achievements.
right,
Because I genuinely feel happy whenever you achieve something like
right.
whatever it might be.
Yeah, I have felt that.
And before we proceed to the next question, I want to talk about something people might not know about you.
Okay,
People who do not know you are, and maybe also people who know you but not so closely.
okay,
So when we met for the first time back in 2019, and then I got to know about you,
right.
and then I realized that you have already achieved a lot in life,
I think
and
so.
you are like very pretty, very beautiful. But more than that, I would say things you have achieved in your life back then and then now, I cannot be like, I might be the proudest being
Thank
around
you
you
so much.
because you have been taking care of your family since a very long time, since you were in college. You have been taking care of all the finances and everything all by yourself.
Thank you so much. I mean,
And that
having
made me the happiest. And when I see a person like you who can take care of herself and then others as well, I mean, nothing can be better than that in this world.
that means a lot to me because not every day I get recognized for what I do. And I think I don't even want to remember those things because that would make me feel like, oh, that God complex would be there in me. But
Mm. No,
you,
I feel,
you
you
just
know,
made sure always that to humble me in a way and to make me fly in the air at the same time. Don't know how you do that, but you do that.
yeah. No matter how far we go in life, we should always be humble to us, ourselves, and to everyone else around us.
Yeah.
Always.
Talking about our hobbies, that brings me to my next question, that how do you think that we make sure we don't lose out on our individual identities while working or being in a relationship?
I think that one thing that we need to do is respect each other's habits.
Right.
For example, if I'm into something that you're not,
Mm-hmm.
and you might not be interested in that, and that is absolutely fine, right? But disrespecting what you do not know
Yeah.
or do not like, is a red flag.
That is true. That is
That
true.
is a red flag for me
That is true.
because I'm like I like reading, but not I'm not a reader, right?
Mm-hmm.
I cannot like sit and read books every day and all, which you do, and you
Yeah.
love reading books.
Yeah.
And I mean, people can already see your background, so that's not even like 5% of what you have in your collection. So,
True.
but that doesn't mean I'm gonna say, reading, I don't like it. Don't talk about that books. Don't talk about this, right?
Or
Because we
maybe
go
even,
out
yeah,
every now and then, we get books from the bookstore.
you
We do that,
a lot of books.
and also you're not into gaming, which I
Yeah.
am, and I've been gaming since childhood. But you were the first one to support me when I'm streaming or recording videos and when I post it on YouTube or any other platform. You're the first one to share it everywhere.
Yeah.
And you're the first one to join the stream and start like
With a big
commenting on the live
high.
chat. Yeah, exactly. You do that. And I love this thing about us, you know, because we never disrespected each other's habits or passions any day.
And I think that also comes from respecting the person as an individual. Like you being
Yeah.
you and me being me. If I cannot
But
respect,
these are the things which come together
right,
and then makes a big impact, right?
right. And I think that, we so actively encourage each other's interest. I mean, um, if I can recall it properly, I have received voice notes saying that, I will be the happiest if you can just sit down and write uh, today. And that made my day. So I think that's a great thing. Okay, coming to the last segment, what's one thing that we do on a daily basis that you think that strengthens our bond?
Again, I think communicate. We communicate a lot.
We do.
We communicate when we are laughing, like joking about something. We communicate after a fight. Of course, we also have fights every now and then, like small
Yeah,
fights,
we do.
maybe not big. But
We talk about it
there's this one thing we do. We take our time, even if it's like 10 minutes, 20 minutes, half an hour, whatever. And then we make sure we get back,
and
sit
talk.
down together, and talk about it. We do that on a daily basis.
And I also think that we check in on each other a lot in very small ways
Yes, we do.
throughout the day.
We do. Absolutely. No matter what we are doing, we always,
And we
you know,
always
make
ask each
sure,
other this question that how was your day? What did you do throughout the day? I think that's
yes,
a
we do that.
great thing.
We do that.
Um, what advice would you like to give to the couples who are thinking of working together, starting?
I was just saying, before you start working together, try to work on each other.
That's an amazing point of view. And I
You
think
know, you first start working on each other, getting to know each other. And once you feel like, nah, this is it, I know, like, this person, it's just not a relationship, it's a partnership.
right,
And then you can go forward with working together
working together.
in a company. Yeah.
And I think also communication, respecting each other's expertise that, okay, this person can work on this part, I can work on this part. So
Exactly.
respecting each other's,
Again, that comes under communication, right?
yeah.
The more you communicate, the
And
more you get to know each other.
I think the one thing that I would focus that please don't micromanage each other.
No, you should never do that. No.
I mean, we never do that.
Mm.
Sometimes
Because
when
once
I
you start doing that, yeah,
you lose
you'll get a lot
everything.
of
You
problems.
lose
Yeah,
everything.
you'll
You lose
start
your
losing
love,
things.
respect, everything.
A lot of issues will pop up eventually.
Yeah.
You should never do that.
And I
And one more thing, that is the personal space.
right.
you should always respect each
Each
other's
other's
personal
personal
space.
spaces.
And by personal space, what do I mean? It can be anything,
Anything.
right?
Even
Like
as you
sometime
say,
back in the days, I used to like force you. It's okay. You're done with work. Now go, sit, do anything you want.
anything you want.
Even if you don't feel like watching anything, reading anything, just sit down, listen, like turn on some music, just do some random stuff.
Right. You did that.
Because that is your personal space.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and you need it. Everyone needs it.
Okay, so last question of the day. If we could go back in time and tell our younger selves one thing about love and business, what would it be?
I don't know.
Okay, I think you can think about your answer because I can see your eyes thinking. I would say that I would tell myself that um, be patient. It takes time, and rushing things create stress in your mind and your work at the same time. And success in love doesn't mean that you are sacrificing your ambition, which I always thought that I will have to sacrifice my ambition to be successful in love, or vice versa. And being, I think you can have the best of both worlds. My younger self would have never ever believed that I can have the best of both worlds. What about you?
If I had the chance to go back and suggest something to my younger self, that would be if I had to say something to my younger self, I would say just be patient because things that are going to happen to you will make you who you will become someday.
Wow,
So just accept what it is, how it is. You will go through ups and downs, but that is how life shapes you into a better person.
absolutely.
And with relationships, it's going to be fine eventually. And someday, I'm pretty sure you will meet that one person that will make you believe in love and work both at the same time.
I think our younger selves stopped believing in ourselves. Okay, so I'll not get more emotional with this. And it was amazing talking with you, being in a podcast which you pushed me to do, and talking about love and relationship and work at the same time. It has been amazing. Like, how did you feel
Feel the
being here?
same. It was great.
I did not
It's
expect
just
it, like to
us
have
being
such fun.
us.
Yeah,
It's just us being us. I feel we talk about this every day, almost every day. We talk about work, we talk about
yeah,
relationship, we discuss about things, and we discuss about a lot of things.
lot of
So
things.
it's nothing
Everything under
unusual
the
to
sun,
us.
literally. Like
Exactly.
yesterday, we were also discussing about planets.
Let's not get into that.
Okay, so
Let's keep science, technology, and everything else aside right now. That's for a different episode,
yeah,
not this.
I had immense fun doing this with you. And anything that you want to say to my future listeners or current listeners?
Listen to the whole podcast. This is amazing. And I think the upcoming podcasts, even the guests, are like, it's going to be very interesting for everyone.
Yeah.
So make sure you follow this channel, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and like it and share with your friends. They're going to love it.
And I will close this with one thing that people who are the listeners of my podcast also please go to his gaming channel. It's at EddieX Gaming. He streams every day almost and plays amazing. I mean, my favorite
That
gamer.
almost hurts.
Well, that's a perk of being in a relationship and working, that you also give the reality check.
I'll take that.
So I think this is our best Valentine's Day thing. to do. I mean, wow, oh, what a conversation that we had together. If there's one thing that we want you to take away from this episode, it's what love and ambition are not a trade off. You can build something amazing together without losing yourself if you learn how to communicate properly, support each other's growth, and create that space for both of your shared and personal goals. And hey, if you enjoyed this episode, here's what you can do. You can follow Unstuck with Bijoyeti on your favorite podcast platform and on YouTube so you never miss an episode. Share this with your partner or someone who needs to hear this episode. And also, please subscribe him also on his channel at EddieX Gaming. He plays every day. And DM me on Instagram to tell me what resonated with you the most.